You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day or night, whenever you choose to listen. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page, get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm sure that you have heard the news by now that the New York Jets have traded Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers. That was some big news. You know, it had been rumored out there that the Jets were maybe considering moving Sam Darnold. They go ahead and they pull the trigger. Now, him going to the Panthers is a big surprise to me. In return for Darnold, the number 3 overall draft pick in 2018, the Jets received 3 picks, a 6th-rounder in the 2021 draft later this month, and a 2nd-rounder and a 4th-rounder in the 2022 NFL draft. Now, without a proven quarterback on the roster, the Jets are expected to select Darnold's replacement with their number 2 overall pick in April 29th NFL draft, which is this month. Now, Sam Darnold has 1 year remaining on his rookie contract with a guaranteed salary and bonuses totaling $4.6 million. Now, the Panthers, they're going to have to decide on Darnold's 5th-year option for 2022 by May 3rd. Now, the predetermined amount is $18.8 million, which is fully guaranteed. Now, in 3 seasons, Darnold went 13-25 as a starter, 45 touchdown passes to 39 interceptions. He completed just 59% of his passes, never finished above 26 in passer rating. Now, he finished as the NFL's lowest rated passer last season at 72.7, which was 36 out of 36 for qualifying quarterbacks. Now, his career passer rating is 78.6, which ranks 39th out of 39th since 2018. My thoughts on this whole situation with Sam Darnold: I think that the Jets moved too quickly to move on from Darnold. Now, he's played under two different offensive systems, 2 different head coaches. He's had no 1,000-yard rusher, no 1,000-yard receivers. He's played behind a bad offensive line. Guys were in, guys were out. The Jets never really built anything around Sam Darnold to really say, can Sam Darnold play or can he not play? I honestly think, well, the Jets, it looks like they want to move on. They're starting over. They're going through a rebuild again. It's the Jets. They go through a rebuild every 2 years, it seems. And that seems to be the thing. And I don't know what the Jets are doing. I don't know what their organization is doing. And coming on the Carolina Panthers side of things, it seems that, you know, they might be getting a diamond in the rough, and they might. You know, I'm not completely sold on Darnold being a bust. I would love to see what he's going to do in Carolina before that's being said. I do think Carolina is going to put pieces around him, unlike what the Jets did. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, you wonder what's going to happen to him. Why are they in that situation where they just signed Bridgewater last season? And it seems that the Panthers are already ready to move on from him. They tried trading Bridgewater earlier this offseason to Houston for Deshaun Watson. before the whole masseuse incident came out. So it's going to be hard to move Watson right now. Teams might just be staying away from him. But it seems that they're not sold on Bridgewater, and they're ready to cut bait with him. I don't see both of them being on the roster at the same time next season. So, yeah, I just I don't know what the Jets are doing. I understand what the Carolina is doing. NFL teams, they throw money away. They just throw money around. Like I said, they just gave money to Bridgewater. And they're going to have to make a decision on Sam Darnold now that he's coming in. So I'm not saying Darnold is a bust just yet. I'm going to have to wait and see what he does in Carolina. I think Darnold is a good football player. I know some people would say that he wasn't that great in USC, and I get it. I saw some of the highlights and some of the stats. So I understand it, but you have to at least give a guy a chance, put pieces around him, and that's what a lot of teams don't do. They don't put pieces around these guys. They don't set them up to succeed. And I think going to the Jets for Darnold was the worst thing that could have happened to him. I think going to Carolina is going to be one of the best things to happen to him. You're going to see with the Jets, if they take Trevor Lawrence, you're going to see how bad that organization is. And they might end up being the new Cleveland Browns quarterback killer. The Browns organization, up until they got Baker Mayfield, that organization just destroyed quarterbacks that they drafted, quarterbacks that they signed. It was a revolving door. And I do believe until the Jets fix upper management problems, the thing is still going to happen. And I think that the problems in New York were bigger than Sam Darnold, and he just got caught up in it. Organizations, it starts at the top going down to the bottom, and believe it or not, at the bottom is the players. If you want to change the culture and change and get a winning attitude, it's going to start up top with the people who are making the big decisions for the football team. And I think that Sam Darnold is I think that he's going to do pretty okay in Carolina. Like I said, it's not like I watched a whole bunch of Jet games, but I have seen Sam Darnold play. I do recall one Monday night game I saw him playing. So, I'm not ready to say that Sam is a bust, but the New York Jets have said that they are moving on from him. All right, let's get into some history, the history books. This day in sports, 1973. The Pittsburgh Pirates named today Roberto Clemente Day as they retired his number. Also in 1987, the Los Angeles Dodgers GM Al Campanis, I believe that's his name, how you pronounce his name, appeared on ABC News Nightline saying that blacks may not be equipped to be in baseball management, sparking a racial controversy. When I saw this, I could not believe that this was said in 87. This was said in 1987. I was alive in 87. But the fact that this was said in 1987 just shows the ignorance of a lot of people that are in upper management of a lot of companies, not just baseball, but just a lot of companies. So, unfortunately, that was said, but we have moved on to bigger and better things. All right. Hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page and get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.